You are still using a Galaxy S23 Ultra from 2023, and you're thinking about whether it's time for an update. The S23 Ultra was Samsung's superstar back in the day, the first Ultra to boast that enormous 200-megapixel camera. It delighted users worldwide by standardizing Snapdragon chips, instead of complicating things with different CPUs. On top of that, it retained the much-loved S Pen, giving Note fans a familiar experience. The challenge, however, is that a refurbished S23 Ultra can now be bought at a far lower cost than a brand new Ultra. But wait, because the Galaxy S26 Ultra is coming shortly, and the rumors are very amazing. We are talking about a display that's far brighter and more efficient than what we had 3 years ago. There are even rumors of an entirely new privacy function that might transform how you use your phone in public. And that's only the beginning. Quicker charging, a fresh new Snapdragon CPU, and camera enhancements are all on the table. Samsung is slated to show off the Galaxy S26 range on February 25, 2026, with phones entering shops in early March. Today, we are going deep into what leaping 3 generations ahead might truly imply for your everyday phone experience. Let's start with how these phones appear and feel in your hands. The Galaxy S23 Ultra featured the boxy form that made it seem like a real successor to the Galaxy Note series. It arrived with flat edges, slightly curved glass, and that trusty S Pen hidden within. Samsung fortified it with IP68 water resistance and strong Gorilla Glass Victus 2. The S26 Ultra is changing things up in numerous fascinating ways. First off, Samsung is moving back to aluminum for the frame after testing titanium on the S24 Ultra. This isn't a step backward either. They are employing something dubbed Armor Aluminum 2.0. Aluminum actually manages heat better than titanium because it conducts heat away from heated components more effectively. This should help your phone keep cooler during lengthy gaming or video recording sessions. It also helps Samsung keep costs fair, which is crucial as component prices keep going up. The S26 Ultra should be around 0.4mm slimmer than the S25 Ultra. Compared to your S23 Ultra, it's about a whole millimeter slimmer, which you'll clearly notice. Case rumors claim Samsung is also making the corners more rounded, giving the phone a softer, friendlier appearance. The largest visible change is occurring to the camera bump on the rear. Instead of the distinct ring surrounding each camera lens, Samsung may go with one single camera island. This tweak isn't just about appearances. It enables them to place larger camera lenses inside. Leaks hint at steel camera rings and a pill-shaped camera bar replacing the original vinyl record-type design. The outcome should seem cleaner and correspond better with the phone's reduced profile. Now let's speak about the screen, since here is where things become very fascinating. Your S23 Ultra features a 6.8-inch QHD plus OLED display that gets quite bright at roughly 1750 nits. The S26 Ultra is likely to employ Samsung's latest M14 OLED technology, which sounds scientific but ultimately means higher efficiency and sharper viewing. Here's the exciting part. There's a supposed feature called Flex Magic Pixel. This ties to something called Privacy Display Mode, and it's supposed to prohibit anyone from peeping at your screen from the side. Think about those moments on the train or at a coffee shop when you want to check something private on your phone. This feature would make your screen hard to view from side angles while keeping it fully clear when you're looking directly at it. Recent reports imply this privacy feature won't be confined to only the Ultra variant. The full S26 series may receive it. Still, it's a big advance over your 3-year-old display technology. Performance is where the 3-generation leap truly shows its value. The S23 Ultra was truly a major thing since it utilized the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 CPU internationally. Before then, Samsung employed various CPUs in different locations, which generated confusion. The S26 Ultra is rumored to operate on the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy, developed on a superior 3nm technology. Earlier speculations claimed Samsung would employ their own Exynos processor in select locations, but the latest SEC filings firmly point to Snapdragon everywhere. This new technology is believed to attain clock rates up to 4.74 GHz, which is much quicker than what you have presently. The graphics processor gets an update too. The new Adreno 840 GPU should give roughly 30% better graphics performance. If you're into gaming or video editing on your phone, this difference will be quite evident. The phone could also include Qualcomm's X85 modem, providing 5G speeds up to 12.5 gigabits per second. That's significantly quicker than existing networks can give, but also future-proofs your phone as networks improve. Here's something unusual. Certification paperwork proves emergency satellite message functionality, at least in China. It's unknown whether this function will operate internationally, but it's a step ahead from the S23 Ultra's capabilities. The RAM is being updated to something dubbed 1-gamma LPDDR5X, which is Samsung's newest memory technology. This delivers speeds up to 10.7 gigabits per second, while using 20% less power than previous models. You'll also receive Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4, offering quicker wireless speeds and greater connection reliability with your accessories. Software-wise, the S26 Ultra should arrive with Android 16 and One UI 8.5. Samsung promised 7 years of upgrades for its latest flagships. Your S23 Ultra, unfortunately, is nearing its last year of software support. Samsung guaranteed 4 years of Android upgrades and 5 years of security fixes for that generation. This implies Android 17 will be the final significant update your S23 Ultra gets. Samsung is also adjusting how they handle AI features in the coming future. Some Galaxy AI enhancements could arrive first on the S26 Ultra, with earlier phones like the S23 Ultra receiving them months later. Let's go into the camera enhancements, which are rather considerable. Your S23 Ultra inaugurated Samsung's 200-megapixel era with a quad-camera configuration. That contains a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 10-megapixel 3x zoom, a 10-megapixel 10x periscope zoom, and a 12-megapixel front camera. The S26 Ultra could feature either a bigger 200-megapixel sensor or maintain the same sensor with a wider f/1.4 aperture. Either adjustment would help the camera collect more light, boost dynamic range, and generate more realistic background blur. The 3x zoom camera is believed to continue at 10 megapixels. However, the sensor could be somewhat smaller to match the slimmer shell. Here's a significant shift. Samsung is apparently replacing the extreme 10x zoom with a more realistic 5x telephoto camera. This new 5x camera would employ a bigger sensor, producing substantially higher picture quality at the zoom ranges most people actually use. Samsung is also making the aperture larger on its 5x camera, which could assist with low-light zoom images. One of the most interesting speculations is the reintroduction of variable aperture, which Samsung previously employed on the Galaxy S9. The lens could mechanically transition between f/1.4 and f/2.4 apertures. This would assist balanced depth of field and low-light performance without depending entirely on software gimmicks. For video recording, Samsung is apparently working on a new APV format with high and low quality settings. This features increased HDR processing and better audio recording to compete with iPhone's cinematic video capabilities. The One UI 8.5 code hints at additional video settings, like configurable autofocus transition speed and the option to fine-tune how soft your films seem. Now let's discuss battery life and charging, which influence your everyday experience. The S23 Ultra demonstrated that an efficient CPU can perform wonders with a 5000 mAh battery. It lasted longer than its predecessor while having the same battery size. However, charging speeds kept the same at 45 watts, which seems sluggish compared to other rivals. Recent certification listings imply Samsung is maintaining the same 5000 mAh battery in the S26 Ultra. Any battery life increases will come from the more efficient CPU rather than a larger battery. The good news is that quicker charging appears extremely plausible. Samsung listed 60-watt chargers clearly imply a substantial wired charging boost for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Wireless charging could grow to 25 watts, while new rumors claim the S26 series won't feature built-in magnets for magnetic attachments. If I was switching from a S23 Ultra to the S26 Ultra, I would certainly feel like I received a genuine improvement. Even if the S26 Ultra turns out to be only an incremental step above the S25 Ultra, 3 generations of enhancements add up to something noteworthy. The enhancements I'd notice right away include that new 5x telephoto camera, quicker charging, the anti-reflective display, and the much more powerful CPU. Now, if your S23 Ultra is still performing all you needed to accomplish, remember that it will receive Android 17 in 2026 plus another year of security upgrades. But let's be honest, it's beginning to show its age compared to what's coming. Samsung frequently provides great trade-in prices and storage upgrades during launch times, making the switch to a newer Ultra a lot simpler to justify financially. What do you think about these supposed S26 Ultra improvements? Are any of these improvements enough to make you contemplate upgrading from your existing phone? Drop your ideas in the comments below. If this comparison helps you grasp the distinctions between these generations, click that like button and consider subscribing for more in-depth tech comparisons. Thanks for viewing, and I'll see you in the future video.